Hey, my name's Brinded, and I am creator of the Empath OS course, which OS stands for operating system, as all empaths have an operating system inside of themselves, which is more advanced than all the technology outside of us. They just have forgotten this, but when you can use it, it's like a GPS for your life. You will optimize all aspects of your life. Now, one of the things I find that is sort of hindering or causing empaths to be held back is that they don't realize that problems they're having are usually multifaceted. So what I mean by that is there's always more than one thing when it comes to, say, a pain in the body or an emotion or drained or whatever. In thinking that there's just one thing, it holds the problem in place, because if it was that thing, this is the really tricky thing to understand. If it was that thing, it would resolve it. Now, for example, let's say someone comes to me and they've got lots of examples, but I had a client yesterday who was having problems with their father, and they were really angry with their father. So this girl was really angry with her father. So that was the baseline. We knew that that's the problem. So she thought she was really angry with her father, but it was still there. She said it a few times, so it wasn't resolving it. Now, what I do is I find the top 3 to 5 underlying weaknesses affecting the situation. These are like switched off energies, and then I switch them back on, and then come back to the baseline, and it's usually resolved the problem. It's no longer there. The person can't find it. It's kind of a weird experience. You have to experience it, but it just dissolves it. And the person usually is closer to the person or more understanding. Now, what usually happens is with this girl, we cleared the first thing. So the major problem, that was number 1. We cleared it. And then I said to her, okay, so how do you feel now about your father? And she went, it's the same. I'm just so disappointed. This is where people get confused and get caught in their lives, in their problems. The first time she said she was really angry, raging. So we cleared the first layer. Then there was some disappointment. So it was another layer, and she hadn't seen the difference. And that's why working with someone or getting very accurate with your own GPS will help you see that. So then we worked on that, and then it came to, I think it was shame. So I think in the end we did 5 different emotions, and it wasn't all her. She was picking up on him because she's an empath, right? She was downloading a lot of his emotions and then other people's emotions. We cleared and then I said, okay, how do you feel about your father? And she said, well, actually, I feel very calm and neutral about it. Doesn't mean that she was having a party about what happened, but she was no longer affected, which is priceless. Now, a good analogy for this is, let's say we have a big Italian meal and there's loads of plates on here and we eat a lot of it. And then I say to someone, okay, let's tidy up. And then they come in and they take away the biggest plate and put it in the kitchen. And what if I then came and said, you haven't done anything. It's still a mess. Well, it's still a mess, but it's 1 plate less. And if we consistently take away a plate, we'll get to a point where there are no plates and it's clean, yeah? So what people normally do when there's a problem like that is they maybe clear one thing and then they say, yeah, but it's just still the same. Like, we've taken the biggest plate, but it's still the same. So I suppose my point being, again, is when we have problems like a shoulder injury or a relationship problem, whatever, there's always multiple layers, and we need to have a precise GPS to be able to resolve it. Otherwise, we say it's the same and it perpetuates it and makes it much, much worse. And in the end, it can ruin someone's life. It causes huge mishaps, and which can cause, when there's extreme anger, in this case with this young lady, if she'd held on to that and never resolved it, or she may have thought she resolved it, but she may have just suppressed it, that will create, there's research starting to show that suppressed anger causes diseases, okay? So if you'd like to know how to clear away the layers to problems in your life yourself, so that might be relationship, or maybe you have, negative thinking about money, or you don't have enough money, or your workplace is unbearable, or you're unconfident, whichever type of problem, you find a good baseline, how you feel about it, and then you get to work on peeling away the onion or clearing the big table until there's nothing left, and then the problem is resolved. So if you'd like to know more about that, click on the link below. It explains more about my course, shows you what some of these students who are doing the course are saying about it. And if you have any questions about the course, you can reply to this email. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great day, and thank you very much for listening.